Good morning, everybody.
So, can we get these guys on?
No, well, no, I only brought 4 in.
We're getting our Zoom set up with our auditors, so give us just a second to, we'll start the meeting.
Yeah, go right. Okay.
Real gentle. I'll call this meeting of the Coombs-and-Toltec Scenic Railroad Commission to order February 16th, 2024 at 9 o'clock. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did you get them? Can I get?
Good morning, sir. We're just getting started.
Okay, great.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda with the following change. Would like to move Josh Trujillo under 12A to after 4.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The agenda has been approved with the change to move 4A or 12A up to right after 4. Can I get a roll call?
Commissioner, excuse me, Commissioner Gibbs.
Aye.
Commissioner Graybill.
Aye.
Commissioner Smith Castford.
Yes.
Chairman Elbrock.
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the November 11, 2023 regular commission meeting?
So moved. Second.
Any changes to the minutes? Are all okay as presented? Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the November 11, 2023 regular commission meeting? Did I do that already?
You did that.
I did that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll go to 12A, which has been moved to the presentation of the FY23 audit by Josh Trujillo of the SJT Group. Josh?
Good morning.
Good morning, Josh.
See everybody. I have a brief PowerPoint presentation that I put together if you'd like me to go through that. Otherwise, I can just summarize the results from the audit to you all over this meeting, whatever works best for you all.
Mr. Chairman?
Summarize is fine.
What was that? I can't.
Is summarize okay with everybody?
Summarizing is
Summarize.
fine.
The verbal summarization is fine. Josh, thank you.
Okay, great. So thank you for inviting me to the board meeting this morning to summarize the results from the fiscal year 2023 audit. The audit itself was completed right at the end of October of 2023. The regulatory deadline to get this to the New Mexico Office of the State Auditor is November 1st, 2023. So that deadline was met. Now from that time period through really last week, the state auditor spends its time going through the report, reviewing it. They come to us or the commission with any changes or questions about the report, and those changes were made and the report was finalized a couple of weeks ago. So once that's finalized, then it is made available to the public, and therefore we're able to actually present the results of the audit to you all. Now, before the audit was submitted to the state auditor's office, we did present it in an exit conference to the commission's management, as well as to Commissioner Smith Casford and Mr. Gibbs. And we did that right before the audit was submitted to the state auditor's office. Now, our main responsibility as the commission's auditors is to audit the financial statements of the commission, and we audit, the commission kind of as one single entity, and we provide an opinion on its financial statements. But then we also audit the commission at its individual fund level. So we look at the commission's general fund, its capital fund. We look at CTO and the historic preservation entities separately also, and we also give separate opinions on each of those different funds within the commission. Now, I'm happy to report that as part of our audit, we issued an unmodified or a clean opinion on the commission as a whole, as well as each of those individual funds of the commission. Now, issuing an unmodified opinion doesn't mean that there were no adjustments made as part of the audit. It doesn't mean that there were no findings or recommendations made as part of the audit. But what it means is that at the conclusion of our audit, we feel that the commission's financial statements were materially correct. Now, as part of the fiscal year 2023 audit, we did report 3 findings as part of the audit. 2 of those findings were actually carried forward from the fiscal year 2022 audit, and that related to account reconciliations, as well as the use of purchase orders. And then we had one new finding in fiscal year 2023, which related to the New Mexico Public Money Act. That act basically requires that monies that are received by the commission are deposited within 24 hours of their receipt. And there was one transaction that we tested where that deposit was made more than 24 hours after the receipt. So that was kind of the basis for that finding. The account reconciliation finding really relates to adjustments that we make as part of the audit, and that has been the case for the last couple of years. Now, in years where there aren't significant or material adjustments made as part of the audit, that finding will ultimately be considered to be resolved. But during the fiscal year 2023 audit, there were some adjustments made as part of the audit to be able to provide that clean or unmodified opinion on the commission's financial statements. And then the commission's financial policies and procedures do require the use of purchase orders. And we identified one vendor during the year that was actually paid more than the approved aggregate approved purchase orders that were issued during the year. So that was really the basis for that other purchase orders finding. Now, there were 2 findings from the previous year's audit, the 2022 audit, that were resolved during fiscal year 2023. One of them being what we call a material weakness, really those high-level, most severe type of findings. And that related to how timely the states of Colorado and New Mexico were being invoiced by the commission for its capital appropriations. The commission was much more timely and diligent in invoicing those appropriations during fiscal year 2023. And because of that, we considered that finding from the previous year to be resolved. And then in fiscal year 2022, the audit was actually completed and submitted to the state auditor's office past the November 1st deadline. And because of that, there was also a finding for submitting that report late. This year, as I mentioned, the report was completed on time, and it was submitted by that November 1st deadline. So that finding was also considered to be resolved during the year. Otherwise, as part of our audit, if there were any disagreements with management during the audit, we would be required to communicate that to the board ultimately, but there were no such disagreements. Scott and Alicia and really anybody else that's involved in the audit were very helpful to us in ultimately getting through the procedures we needed to get through and being able to submit the audit by that November 1st deadline. Otherwise, the financial statements at this point are in final form. They are available to the public. And if there are any questions about the audit, I'd be happy to go through them with you all now. I believe Mr. Gibbs and others have my contact information. If there are questions about the audit after today's meeting, I'd be happy to go through them. So thanks again for inviting me.
Any questions?
I don't think so. Thanks, Josh. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you. We
Yeah, thanks
appreciate
a lot.
your hard work. I know this isn't an easy property to audit, so we appreciate you very much.
Yeah, it's great to work with you all. So thanks again for inviting me.
Microphones.
Sorry, I just disrupted the recording equipment. Hang on for us just a second.
Sure.
Can I get a motion to accept the FY 2023 audit?
We accept the 2023 audit.
Second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Gibbs,
Accept.
Commissioner Graybill,
Accept.
Commissioner Smith Castford,
Accept.
Chairman Elbrock.
Accept.
Okay, Josh, thanks. You're welcome to stick around, but you certainly don't have to,
Okay, well, thanks again for having me.
of course.
Item number 5 on our agenda, the general manager's report.
Good morning. This is the February 2024 General Manager's Report. I'm going to start off with Fair Harbor, which is our new reservation system. We put that in place here at the end of last year, and at the beginning of January here, it was up and running, and it is, we're busy selling tickets. Everyone is still learning the new system and the reporting from it, but we are already starting to see a savings on each transaction over what we were spending with DTS. Our fares with Fair Harbor are about 1/3 of the cost of what we were spending with DTS. The sales right now, we are almost 16% of where we were last year as of last Tuesday, or this past Tuesday. And we are at 9% capacity for the season already. Our ARPA funds, we have spent about 1/3 of the funds already on our projects and have another 1/6 of the money committed in PTOs. We need to make sure we spend all of the funds by the end of June of 2025, and we need to have them committed by December 31st of this year. Our locomotives. The annuals have been scheduled for some of them here beginning next month. Progress is going good in both shops. At the Antonito of the 487, which they're just about ready to start putting water in for its hydro. The 463 is getting a 5-year cap inspection. In Chama, the 44 is getting a 5-year cap inspection. The 488 is ready for its annual, and the 489 is almost done. And then DRHS will be doing the annual on the 315 as well, and later this spring the 168 will get its annual done. Our coaches, almost all the coaches have had their annual inspections completed. A couple of cars are getting some significant interior replacement work done. The new coach frame that was over here in Antonito is in the shop, and the guys are busy working at it and getting it ready to assemble. There's no current track work being done. Most of the track crew is working in the Antonito shop. They're also working on motor cars, coaches, and locomotives. Our new ballast regulator arrived in January. It was rebuilt and cut down from a standard gauge unit. The tamper we have was sent out for rebuild by the same company that just did the regulator. It's scheduled to be back this spring. And John's working on getting prices on materials and replacement for some culverts. Charter trains, we have several charters on the books for the season already, a few photo charters, and we actually have a growing number of evening dinner type charters. This summer we're going to bring on a new event called Rails and Ales. It is an event that used to be done by the San Luis Valley Brewery in conjunction with the San Luis Rio Grande Railroad. And the San Luis Valley Brewery is going to be working with us on this. It is scheduled for August 17th. And yeah, it's traditionally a slower month for us, and we're hoping to increase some ridership. The Fireman and Engineer School, we've renamed to the Fireman and Engineer Experience, and hoping to bring that back here in the 2025 season. Gonna try to start off with 1 or 2 weeks. And we have quite a few applicants on a waiting list, and they'll be contacted first before we put it up for the public. And that is the end of my report.
Can I have it for the minutes?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Any
And-
questions?
yeah, so do you want to talk about the Santa trains just a little bit?
I can do that.
Okay. So, how many riders did we have?
I don't have the exact number right in front of me. I believe we were right around 3,000 or 3,500. Is that correct, Abby?
Yeah, that sounded confident. So I would say that was very successful.
Yeah, and so we're definitely gonna do it again this coming year. Probably maybe looking at increasing the number of days we will be doing it. We haven't sat down and talked about how we're gonna do that yet.
Okay.
We tentatively have on the schedule the first weekend right after Thanksgiving, and then the first full weekend in December. We have lined out and for that.
Very good. And it is a compressed holiday season this year with one fewer week. So
Mhm.
that's a little bit of a disadvantage, but congratulations to the team members who did those Santa trains, because I know it's a lot of work, but it's also really important because it brings a new group of people up here.
Pass that down to Kim too, I forgot that.
There's-
Yes, sir?
When you were giving your report, you mentioned 9% of season capacity. Did I miss what you expect the ridership to be this coming season?
I believe we're somewhere in the total seats available is in the low 50,000 range, if you take all of our scheduled trips.
Okay. And is that then your goal?
We would love to get to that or more.
Okay?
I was looking at the actual number of seats. If we had every train sold out, that's where it would be.
Got it.
So that's at full capacity.
Yeah.
And it's just up to Abby to make sure that happens.
Superintendent's report? Mr. Marvin?
Well, after the end of the season, we made some choices that we were hoping that would really pan out for us. And one of the first choices that we made is that we would keep our tractor working year-round to help. We'd have them all assigned to work in the shops in different departments. And it really planned out good, the fact that we were able to bring up more people on staff to help us in the passenger coach annual reviews. We had more people to put on there to get a better look at stuff. At the same time, we're educating all our people that are working here as to what goes on. So it's, in the series, if you do have a breakdown or something, you got extra help that can come up and help when somebody's not available. So that helped out to where we were able to speed up a lot of our annual inspections. We started working on the new coach frame. We've got a couple of guys on that working to help us in that. So we're not having to be so thin as we're doing that work, Also, the majority of the track guys, we took them into the engine side of the shop to help us with some engine rebuilding and all. And that's also paid off pretty good, because we've been able to keep everybody working so that we don't lose anybody, but at the same time, we're accomplishing work that I don't think could get done if we didn't have the extra hands on board. So that played out good for us in the long run. Our historic building, it's almost complete, not quite, but we were able to move the the PayCar-F into the facility. It's out of the weather. It's, you know, the whole process of how the building was built and everything, we didn't have to leave that out on the weather, so we didn't get no damage on that car at all as they were building it. And work continues off and on that, because we're also using Zell to help us with some of the other woodwork that has to happen on locomotives. And he's also working with some of the guys from the track crew doing some of that work. So we used a group of guys that came in, and we educated them to do various work to help, but at the same time, we used them so that we have a little bit of a backbone. That's one thing that we're really short of on this railroad, you know. And a lot of people don't. They want to do stuff, but they want to do specific stuff. And that's the one thing that we've been able to coach to all these guys, that it's not only one thing, we do lots of things. And that's paid off. We'll continue doing that till they go back on the track crew, which we're soon to. They'll all go back about the 1st of April. I'll be back in the track lines. We did keep one guy doing maintenance on track equipment, and he's actually got 3 of the motor cars ready to go, and he's got 2 blocks that they would be 2 new motor cars that would be coming on. We're trying to beef up, you know, for fire season. We want to have some backup, you know, if we have breakdowns or so that's working good for us on that too. We also use him a lot to when we get short on trying to move stuff with heavy equipment. He's there to move stuff with the heavy, you know, whether it's with the excavator or longer. So we're not taking anybody off of what they're doing. So that's all work. And, other than that, we're in the process of we'll start looking at what we got to do as far as snow removals and all that. That's coming up close on us that we'll have to do to get stuff ready for the opening of the OSHA building. We'll also have to look at, you know, what our plans will be to open up the track as we go. So that's pretty much what I got.
Questions?
Just a comment. That was great, moving the track crew into the engine house and having them work over the winter. That was a very wise move. And after visiting there, they were certainly very busy and making great progress. And this railroad is here to preserve the history of the railroad, but it's also a very important economic driver in this community. And when we can keep people employed year-round, that's just a benefit for everyone. And that's one of our big missions, other than the preservation and the operation of this railroad. So congratulations. And they seemed very happy in what they're doing. So thank you, thank them.
One of the hardest things to do is telling people, okay, it's coming close to Christmas, and you don't have a job no more till come March, you know, and that's usually when everybody likes to have money, you know. So they were thrilled. They stayed working. I mean, you know, they help you do stuff that you wouldn't expect them to do.
Well, exactly, and it makes them more knowledgeable all the way around. And there might be an occasion when they need to help with a maintenance or repair during the operating season. Now they're going to have the knowledge to be able to do that. So.
They were very, very enthusiastic yesterday when Mark and I walked through the shop, and they weren't to show us everything that was going on. So thank you, Marvin, thank you, Stephen.
And I will bring this up, you know, we have two girls in the shop also that are working with us, and it's unbelievable what they do. You know, it's, you know, they don't back off on whatever we have to do, you know. I give them a lot of credit, because a lot of people, it's a dirty job sometimes, and people don't want to do it. They don't back off. They, you know, we have a crew that, no matter what it is, they jump in the pool.
Absolutely. Please pass on our thanks.
Thanks, Mark. Financial report.
So, we did finish the audit on time, so.
Congratulations.
That today.
And that was a very good
Yes.
audit.
We put a lot of work into it, so, right now, we're pretty steady. We've been working on the flow of finances, and, so right now, we just finished the policy. So we decided to separate the policy and the procedures for the internal, accounting. So basically what we've done is, I believe our policy and procedures are dated back to 2017. So we needed to update those. We did go ahead and do that up to current day, where we can, not everything needs to come by snail mail, and we can do electronic invoices. We can do electronic payments now. So those are some of the things that we did add into the policy. I do plan to go over it with the management team. We want to be as transparent with them as possible, so they understand and are able to comply with the new procedure, or the new policy. We will be working on the procedures also, but that'll be next. So I'll just be going over the funds. As of January, HPA doesn't have much reflecting on the P&L other than the historic preservation fee of about $257K, and that does include our $3,500 from the operational revenue from the holiday trains. Commission is pretty much reflects our general support from both states. Our expenditures have increased from prior fiscal year due to an increase in payroll expenses, insurance premiums, and professional fees. We did have some decrease in expenses this year for the commission, such as supplies and services, general G&A expenses, and utilities. And our NI for the commission has increased from prior year. Capital is pretty busy for this time of year. As Marvin said, there's a lot of capital projects going on, so we have locomotive, cars, and pay-car F. The billing for the month of January is completed and will be signed and sent over to the states. We are spending down our ARPA funds. So right now we have about $900K in expenditures. That doesn't include our committed monies as well. CTO, it's not too busy around this time of year. We do see the holiday trains reflected on the P&L at the end of January, so that gives us about 3.746 million in revenue. Our total income has decreased from prior year, as well as our expenses did increase also because of payroll, insurance, G&A, and the NI for CTO has decreased from prior year. We do see this big decrease because last fiscal year we recognized the ERC, the Employee Retention Credit that we got from COVID, the program that we applied for. That was forgiven and it was realized on prior year financial statements. So that's why we do see that decrease in our NI. But that's pretty much it for me. Any questions?
Congratulations again on the audit.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, great.
That was excellent, Felicia. I know that was, audits are a challenge, but really happy with this year's audit, so thank you.
The state of New Mexico has made it real clear that people that don't have their audits in on time are gonna face a withholding of funds. And thank you for making sure that we're not faced with that.
And then I don't know if you wanna comment on us switching over from Colorado, or from New Mexico to Colorado for the audit, kinda where we are in the progress, if that's something that anybody wants to share. There's not much to say, but
We're scheduled to make that change. We have a negotiation between two state auditors I think we have to go through.
Yes, we have to find one, we have to find an auditor in Colorado that New Mexico will accept, so that's where we're at now, is trying to find that auditor. Or, three auditors anyway, to get three firms to get a quote, yeah, so that's where we're at now. Any other questions?
No.
Thank you very much. Marketing report?
So good morning, everybody. Just gonna start with kind of some season highlights of our operation schedule that we have going into this season. So we are doing 2 geology trains again, 4th of July train as well. As Stephen mentioned, we do have dinner trains out there, and then that special train that we are doing in August called Rails and Ales. So that's some of the season highlights, along with all the normal daily departures. We have also added an extra fall departure out of Chama on weekends. So there will actually be 2 trains departing from Chama every weekend in the fall. One will depart at 9 a.m. and then we'll have our 10 a.m. departure as well. That's just to keep up with the demand of our fall season. Adding extra seats as well to increase our ridership overall. So that is something new on that fall departure. There will only be 2 classes of service, so it'll be coach and then a parlor car on that one as well. So overall, we will see how that goes. It'll be different, especially for the town of Chama. They're used to us leaving at 10, so it'll be we'll get 2 waves of people everywhere, so that should help overall as well. Ticket prices this season, we have actually decreased the coach ticket price in the summer. So that is one of the season highlights, which, will help in my marketing efforts overall. Let's see, so seems, as you heard, have a lot of trains out on the line this season, a lot of seats to sell. So how do I plan on doing that? This is my marketing plan for the 2024 season. Overall, as you have heard me say time and time again, kind of shifting more to online. So from last season to this season, I have increased the online digital stuff by 12%. As you all know, it's also a political year. So TV spots, commercials like that, we will be impacted. So with that being said, we have added a new thing to the marketing plan. It's called CTV, or Connected Television. This is basically all your cord cutting networks, so such as like Amazon TV, Apple TV, PlayStation, Xbox. So we will now have a commercial on these stations as well. This again will help because of political windows. It also helps us reach a younger demographic overall. So that is kind of what we are going to shift that effort towards as well. With that being said, I have also started more of the media spending to be earlier versus later in the season. So as you all know, fall kind of sells itself. So kind of getting people here in our low time August help sell Rails and Ales. And also I am going to do what's called EDDM with the help of Rich Casper, because this is kind of not my forte, if you will. So EDDM, we are going to send, kind of a jumbo-sized postcard to Alamosa and Pagosa markets. I feel that there has been a lot of new homeowners move in within the last 5 years that they don't even know Cumbres and Toltec is kind of in their back door, and they also will qualify for our locals discount. So kind of getting both aspects of, kind of the overall print stuff with the digital stuff is gonna be the goal going into the season. Our brochures, they are in the process of creation and they will go to print soon. It is a little bit later than what I have ordered in the past. That is because I was waiting on the new ad pictures over this past season. I had a company, local company from Alamosa, they came in and did a lot of new ad still photos. We also do have a new 2024 commercial coming out, so that is gonna be completely new, as well as a new radio spot as well. So all of that got new recordings, so 2024 brochures will be on the way. As well as all that, keeping people interested in Cumbres and Toltec in the off season, it's also been a goal of ours. We are doing that through social media. So I don't know, many of you may follow us. We have now introduced a photo takeover for the weekends, and that is being done every other week. Starts on Friday, ends on Sunday. We are trying to do more video as well with these photographers. That is because video seems to be doing a little bit better along our social media platforms. Some of the posts that continue to be most engagement on Facebook and Instagram is about our track crew, or behind the scenes what's going on in the shop. Those always get a lot of engagement, so filling in the off days with those is what we have been doing and has been the goal going into the season. Other than that, I think that covers it, unless anybody has any other questions for me.
Questions?
Just a comment. So I've been doing this for a little while now. You do a great job. You really do. And we used to outsource this marketing, and the companies, especially the company that we worked with most recently, they did a very good job. But we save a significant amount of money doing it in-house. We get a very great product, and maybe, well, I'm confident it's even better. And it gives us the flexibility. And you really do a great job, especially with the more limited budget that you have to deal with. So I'm very appreciative.
Bush?
Just a comment, running a B&B in Chama, our reservations are up significantly, and so I see that as a good sign in terms of how your marketing is working.
Thanks.
You know, it's obviously early in the season, but that is I think that's a positive indicator for the effect that it's having.
Right, and as you all heard, you know, we started ticket sales later than prior seasons, and that was because we moved to a new ticketing system. So I was a little bit worried that we were kind of starting late and getting behind schedule. But in comparison to where we were last year, I think we are about 125 people behind of where we were last year at this point, and we started about 2.5 months late. So we're doing good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And this adding a second section out of Chama during leaf season is really huge, because when we're talking about the capacity, there's no way that we're going to be able to fill every train, because people aren't going to be here in May. They're not going to be here the first 3 weeks of June. I mean, they'll be here to a degree, but not to fill a train. We know that we can fill the trains when the leaves start turning. So that's going to be a lot of work, but it'll be worthwhile.
What is the itinerary for the 9 o'clock departure? Where does it go?
Yeah, it's going Chama, Osier, and back to Chama. It's just, the halfway point. Another thing why we did that was so the lunch area isn't so packed all at once, kind of spread our crowd out. Better overall guest experience.
So, Abby, will that 9 o'clock departure to Osier then, it'll include lunch and essentially be the same as taking a 10 o'clock but coming back, not going through?
Correct.
Thank you, Abby. Local affairs?
Don't have a lot to report. I think probably the most significant thing that's happened since the last commission meeting is the incredibly positive feedback that we've received from the Christmas trains. And not just in the local areas. We were in Santa Fe for a hearing. I was actually approached by the Secretary of Administrative Services, and he was absolutely gushing over the fact that he was able to bring his kids up here and ride the train and how much he loved it. So I think that not only is it important to continue this, the Christmas trains for monetary reasons, but the positive positive publicity that we get from them is very significant as well. So congratulations on those Christmas trees. I know they're a lot of work, but hopefully we can grow it and continue to present a really strong presence for both communities.
Questions? Thank you,
I
Ken.
don't think so. Thank you.
Capital projects?
I think Stephen covered a lot of the capital projects. I just want to amplify on a couple and add two. The amount of locomotive work getting done is impressive, Stephen. Looking at the work on 487, the firebox work is almost completed. And I think, if I remember the numbers right, 158 rigid stay bolts got driven over the last few months.
I think it'll be almost 200 when they're done.
Yeah, so it was a very extensive rebuild of the firebox in that locomotive to address some significant issues that were there. And the same guys under Zell's leadership are repairing 463's cab, and the ones that did 315's cab.
Yep.
So they learned and are applying their skills now, so that's very good. And I'm glad, Marvin, you were able to keep them all on board. Looked like the lava tank progress was very significant last fall, and looking forward to seeing the shingles get on and that tank back in service for this coming season. Good to see the recapitalization of the track equipment with the excavator, the backhoe, the tamper, the regulator. And you didn't mention 114.
Yeah, I think I missed that section on my report. So the 114, we've paid for it. We got the barge lined up for shipping. We're tentatively lined up for sometime in March for loading it in Skagway. And it'll be coming down to Bellingham area, Washington, which then it will be put on a depressed center flat car for shipment to Antonito. And it was a little bit of a challenge. We ran into a issue on the Colorado Rio Grande Pacific with their tunnel clearances where we were not going to be able to use a standard flat car. And I was fortunate enough to find a depressed center flat car that the diesel will fit in. They have it free at the time frame we need it, and they know that we are planning on using it. And so I'm working now with BNSF to get the car ordered and get through their dimensional clearance stuff.
So just thank you and your team for everything that's getting done on this off season. You've got capital funds to make it happen, and having people on board and reapplying the track crew for year-round duty has helped a lot.
It has, and I think we found too with a lot of the new guys on the track crew are finding skills that they didn't have, and they're putting them to good use, and I think we got some great potential for growth with a lot of them.
Thank you.
That's Marvin and his guys, not me.
Any questions?
I don't think so.
I have one. And Steve, I may have missed this in your report. Are you anticipating all 4 of the K-36s back by opening day?
I don't know if we'll have all 4 of them out opening day, but we're definitely trying for 3 of them. I know they got a lot of running gear work they're doing on the 484, and so I'm not sure if that one's gonna be ready opening day or not. And it's also getting a 5-year cap inspection. But if it's not opening day, hopefully shortly thereafter.
Thank you. And congratulations.
Friends report?
Bill has to help me with a little gift for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Jim. Do that. All right. Well, enjoy the reading.
Thank you very much.
Bill, you want to comment on that book?
Yeah.
Sure, this is the newest publication out, and it's an artistic emphasis on the entire narrow gauge, but it's got a lot of great stuff about us, and the pictures are really phenomenal. So we thought you guys would like to have that.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
We appreciate that greatly.
Yes, thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you very much,
This is a
Bill.
beautiful book.
You'll see in the report I gave you, our work session dates again. We went over them yesterday in our HPCC meeting, so, gives you, again, an idea when we'll be around in Chalmette and Antietam, so we're getting ready for our work session season. Steve commented about special trainings. We're working with him on, 3 of them as they relate to the Friends of, typically a member train we do in June, and we'll work with Outlaw Barbecue on that, and then a train right up to Cumbres. And then our annual Moonlight Wine Train will be on July 20th, Saturday, July 20th, which is the 55th anniversary of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. Coincidentally, it just fell into that, so that's a good marketing ploy. And then, we're working with Steve on, Saturday, August 3rd, we'll have a, mixed train photo charter out of Antietam, so we wanna try and replicate maybe a Chili Line train in some fashion, using the 463, so appreciate that. We got received the HBA check, $59,056 from the commission, so Billy, I noticed your signature on the check, so thank you. Well, thank everybody, but.
Thank you guys for all you do for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was really quick. Don't normally get it that quick, so that looks good in our January income. I can tell you that.
I bet.
We just had our EC meeting, and so, we're facing challenges for our budget, but that's a nice gift, or appreciate that. So, and then we got a $10,000 check that you guys got, this last week from a donor, who designated it to come to the railroad, and it's used, to be used for locomotive maintenance. And then we also have $100,000 for the 492, whenever you want that.
Oh, okay, I did not know that.
Well, now you do.
I do.
So,
Well.
that's another designated gift, so
Okay.
whenever you'd like that, but that is for 492, so just to be aware.
Please pass on our thanks to the
Absolutely.
donors, those greatly appreciated.
Oh, yeah, no, the 10,000 came from Ken Matzik, who, was the GM, I think, the year that Harper ran the railroad, if we remember, but Ken's a pretty good fella, so.
Great, thanks, Ken.
Yes, we think Ken. In about a month, our spring meeting's coming up in Santa Fe, projects board meeting, and then we have I gave you guys a invite. The 15th, we'll have a special, a car for us on the Santa Fe Southern side Sky Rail. There's a lot of requests for doing a train ride, so we're doing that. So, anyway, so that's in about a month. And then, let's see, I did put some pictures in there from, continuing work on the Express Bay car, 163 in Colorado Springs. I
guess the pictures are kind of a holdover from Dan. He liked seeing pictures of what we were doing up there, so, our crews are working every other Saturday, weather permitting, if it gets real cold or if there's a snowstorm, they don't, but, that work's all taking place at the Trolley Museum, and so, that, again, is one of those nice long-term projects that, those guys diligently work on. And then, last but not least, we're gonna be at the Rocky Mountain Train Show in Denver, April 6th and 7th. I don't know if we have brochures by
I
then?
should, yes.
Okay,
If I don't, I'll be in trouble.
okay. We'll take a cake. Did you already order?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I have not ordered.
Oh,
I'll be
can
in
you-
contact with you this week
Yeah,
about it.
we'll do a case.
Like the same as last
Yeah.
year. Okay.
Yeah, that's helpful, getting it out to our members, and then, when we go to train shows, we,
You already have them?
we have them, and we send them to renewals and that sort of thing, so they're very, very, very much come in handy, so. Anyway, I guess that's it, so thank you for always, putting up with us and for what we do, and, all the support, we appreciate that, so.
Well, again, thank you. The Friends are just so important to this railroad and to our success, and they get so much done. It's just amazing how much is accomplished.
Well, we have our challenges, and we've grown older in the time I've been here. Of course, Bill's been there a lot longer, but
I've grown older too, Tim.
we've all grown older. We haven't fallen to youth, but, yeah, so as I mentioned many times over when I'm here, for the commission meetings, is the challenge is continuing to find volunteers. And, we continue to work on that. There's a little different demographics than when I got here, as far as, in '05. We had people that had, not that they don't have RVs now, but nice pensions, they could do things, and now we're trying to get younger folks in that maybe only have a couple weeks or 3 weeks vacation, and, mom says, what do you wanna do? Go to Chalmers, and, work on what? So there's things like that, it's just challenges, so, we continue to attack that and, try and, see what we can do to keep the level of work session participation. And this year, we're doing away with our work session fees, lunch fees, and insurance fees, so we'll bear all that. So hopefully that is a little, something that might help, when they come volunteer, so. Trying to look at different angles, so anyway, but again, thanks always for, your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. New business. We've done A, we'll move to B. We have a mistake on this, so I'm going to ask to disapprove this sale of the Matissa Mark I Tamarind to Colorado Railway Museum for $15,000. We will have to call a special meeting later in the.
I'll second.
Well, you need a motion first.
Can I get a motion to disapprove?
I thought you made a motion to
I thought I
disapprove.
did too,
You
but.
can't do that.
I'll
Okay.
make the motion.
There we
I'll
go.
second the motion.
Okay, now we're good.
Maybe I said, can I get?
Yeah, that's what you said.
And we have a second?
Yes.
We
Yes.
do.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Gibbs,
Disapprove.
Commissioner Graybill,
Disapprove.
Commissioner Smith Casford,
Disapprove?
Chairman Elbrock.
Disapprove.
So we will have a special meeting about that so that we get the right description.
Right
Yes,
description.
we have to, the description was wrong, so we'll have to get the right description and we'll call it a special meeting. Do we have anything in old business?
Mr. Chairman, we have none, and we have no one asking to speak before the commission.
Okay. Executive session. Can I get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
I'll second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Gibbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Graybill,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Castford,
Yes.
Chairman Elbrock.
Yes. It is 9:55. We're going into executive session. Can I get a motion to return to regular session?
I'll move that we return to regular session.
Second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner, excuse me, Commissioner Gibbs,
Aye.
Commissioner Graybill,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Castford,
Yes.
Chairman Elbrock.
Yes, we are back in regular session at 10:18. Let the record reflect that only matters that were listed on the agenda were discussed in closed session. Do we have any actions following executive session?
No, sir.
No.
Sir.
Now the most important question.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Gibbs,
Aye.
Commissioner Graybill,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Castford,
Yes.
Chairman Elbrock.
Yes, we are adjourned at 10:19. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Thank you.